Life has a way of testing us in ways we don't even imagine. Everyone has a story. Everyone's tested in their own unique way. Challenged and pushed sometimes to what feels like life's limits. And a desire, a need to find calm, find peace, go hunting, go fishing, go outdoors, go on an adventure. You never know what you're going to find.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell, built for the pursuit. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB Sausage Supply, your one-stop shop. Nordic Lodge, where friends become family. North Pro Sports, performance archery and arms. And these fine sponsors.
I suppose when you're young, you have kind of this vision and this dream, and maybe you always do as you grow up. There's always a vision and a dream of where you're going to be tomorrow and what you want to do. It's interesting, as you tell a story, you can always put yourself back in that moment and things become so clear. And until you really start to tell your story, those clear images they're not always there. But when you start to tell your story, and you start to relive and reimagine and rethink about what went on, there's all those fine details that incredibly, in any kind of a traumatic situation, have the potential to come back and be right there and be so vivid. Some days, were long. Some days were stressful. Some days you're going home with maybe blood on your face, blood on your hands, ripped clothes. It's a tough job. You never know what you're going into when you go into that, when you go to a call. And all the same, you've got somebody at home that's waiting and hoping that you're coming home at the end of the day. Because the reality is, it is a dangerous job. And I think we all know that when we sign up, we sign the line, we go through training, and we go into our first post. I was shot with a high-powered rifle at about 20 yards, a 30-06 at about 20 yards, by a guy that I was doing an investigation on.
Everybody's in a hurry. Ones that come out early spring, they're pretty little. They're like 50 pounds maybe. Cruising around, ripping up and down the trees.
How long are you sitting in the tree stand? Like, were you starting it generally at, like you said, 4 or 5 p.m.?
I would say 4 or 5. I don't know if they'll want us in there early. It depends on how they like to run their business. But yeah, 4 or 5 right till the end, right till eagle light. So I started filming with Wild TV, an incredible opportunity to film for Canada Hunts and Prairie Pursuit, and 6 years in and working on season 7, and now an opportunity to get into Generations Outdoors Adventures, which is an idea I've had for a number of years. It's always been brewing in the back of my mind, and now it's just time to go for it. I had this vision to share my story and to help create an opportunity for other people to experience some of the things that I've experienced, share some of the experiences that I've had with them, listen to their story, give them a safe environment, and test some of their fears and challenge some of the things that they've gone through. One of the first people that came into mind, who's been a huge part of my life, is Morgan Buckingham. there was a lot of planning and a lot of behind the scenes things that went on in order to make this all come together. To contact Darren Kimmel at Nordic Lodge, and for them to have the setup there and to offer their place to us to film this adventure and create an opportunity for Morgan to do exactly that and to film one of our very first episodes for Generations Outdoors Adventures. Truly grateful. So it's a long trip north. We ended up going the day before we were going to get out on the hunt, and we stopped at Osprey Wings in Mississippi. A quick stop. We showed up a little bit after midnight, unpacked our stuff, had a big sleep, quick sleep, about 6 hours, and back in the truck and on our way to Nordic Lodge. After all the adventures in all the years and all the filming we've done, rolling into Nordic Lodge, I was super excited. I knew there was a lodge. I knew they were going to be serving breakfast and meals for us and have a place for us to stay and a guide to take us on the boat and get some fishing in. This is amazing. Like, this feels like a place that a human's supposed to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Prior to our bear hunts, it was a little bit unknown. I know we had a backup plan or maybe a secondary plan to get into a tent camp, so we were a little bit excited and prepared to go to tent camp. But we set up in a cabin across from the lodge, right on the south end of Reindeer Lake, and we were welcomed with open arms. It was like family right from the start.
Are you filming without permission or what?
How's it going? Real good. You're Carla?
Yes, I am.
Nice to meet you.
You.
How you doing?
Great to see you. Good. Awesome place here.
Well, thank you.
Carla wanted us to be at camp by about 9:30 in the morning, and that was to make a plan. So we got settled into our cabin, and we headed over. Quentin walked us through right away what it was going to be like on this bear hunt. They have an introduction to the bear hunt there. They walk you through everything. What do you expect when you get dropped off of the site?
Taller than the barrel, right at the top of it. This is a solid shooter. So they're going to look around a little bit, but they're only worried about one thing, and that's what's fixing to go in my belly. Got 6 inches of hair on the bottom, 6 inches of hair on the top, shooting right dead center middle of bottom.
You know, on the trip up, we got to share some stories. We really set the tone early as to what this was all meaning. And one of the things that he explained to me when I was talking to him about going on some type of an adventure was that he had this fear of bears.
I'm feeling excitement, but also apprehension because I know what's coming, what's happening. I'd never used a crossbow before. So, you know, I had some apprehensions about that. And on the drive up, I learned that there were no other firearms, no backup firearms, no bear spray, anything. It was me, a videographer, in a tree stand, in a ground blind, and bears.
So you're going to be at one bait station. I'm going to be at another one.
Yeah.
By myself.
Honestly, it's that opportunity for you to just take it all in, right? And push everything else away. And, you know, whether it is a bird or a squirrel or a tree or something that you're looking at, or maybe whatever it is, I think it's just a matter of soaking in that moment. This one here, this white one.
Okay.
Okay. That's going to be your shooting arrow.
Like for the hunt?
Yep. There's your broadhead. And here. So it's exactly the same concept. Steady hold, combat breathing. So just just let it surprise you, right? Just let the trigger surprise you. So as soon as you push that in, now it's ready to go.
Okay.
So now, as soon as you push that safety forward and squeeze the trigger, it
It's
shoots.
go time.
Yep.
Okay.
Wherever the bear is, you're just going to put it on it.
Right after Greg was shot, a team of investigators from Saskatoon, who I later worked with, very capable homicide investigators, attended to Carrot River and investigated the shooting of Greg Toogood. Ultimately, they identified a suspect and they arrested the suspect. But the Crown prosecutor was not willing to press charges, not willing to support charges. And unfortunately, they had to let the shooter go. For Greg and his family to not have closure, I can't imagine how scared they were, the trauma of that incident, not knowing if it's going to happen again, which is why in 2010, when I was assigned to be the primary investigator on the undercover operation, I took it very seriously. Once the suspect confessed and he was in jail and eventually sentenced, to give that closure to Greg and his family meant everything. To feel that hug from Greg and the thank you and the appreciation that the person who shot him was brought to justice. It's I don't even know what to say. There's no words for it. Seven years later, when I went through some stuff, he was there for me. And this whole thing from 2006 on really laid the foundation for our friendship, our relationship. So when Greg approached me on this, I was reluctant, but part of my self-treatment and my self-care has been challenging myself. And this was an opportunity to challenge myself and really conquer a fear that I had of bears and of just the unknown and the unpredictable.
So lost.
This is what I picked.
Okay, good to go? You gonna do it? Kill a bear. Yeah.
See you, buddy.
Bye, buddy.
Let's do it. Throughout my policing career and even personal life, I've undergone significant trauma, as have a lot of police officers. I would say, most of us consider ourselves mentally tough and resilient, and a lot of times, your coping mechanism is just push it down and keep dealing with it. But the straw that broke the camel's back was the 2017 suicide of my friend and colleague, Mike Leroy. And after Mike killed himself, that was really hard for me, and that I took a turn for the worse. I struggled significantly after that with a variety of emotions. It wasn't easy. It was very challenging. I have little kids, a wife that I love, family that I love, friends that I love, that were all worth fighting for.
So day one, I didn't see a bear, and Morgan had a chance to be up in the tree stand, experience a few bears coming into the bait, and learn a little bit about what a sow looks like, what a boar looks like, what a young one looks like, and their characteristics and their behavior. So it was a perfect setup for him to build some confidence and understand what was going to happen during the hunt.
And he circled back around, came up the tree to the stand, like, you know, few steps, part way, went back down. Just kind of, I think he's bored. He was bored because the other bear was feeding, so the other bear was dominant. So
the next day, a chance to sleep in a little bit, reset, get ourselves ready for day 2 of the hunt. And part of the plan on day 2 was to for Paul to take us out, catch a few pike, and head out to an island for a shore lunch. So we're out, and Paul took us to a couple of his fishing holes so that we could catch a few pike for shore lunch. So Morgan catches a couple fish and Paul throws them back, too big. So I catch a couple fish, throw them back, Paul says it's too small. So we couldn't catch one just the perfect size for Paul to take the shore lunch. So he kept going from spot to spot until we found the right size. So we caught the right fish, put them in the bucket so Paul could clean them up for lunch.
We need the net. You got her?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right on. Sweet.
Oh yeah. So after some pike fishing, we headed out to an island that was within a few miles of where we were going to be bear hunting, and a spot that they take a lot of clients out to for a shore lunch. So while Paul's preparing lunch, it was the perfect opportunity to take those couple steps back and go out, take a few steps into the lake, stand in the water, cast the line. We had a lot of fun just being there, standing together, chatting, catching a few fish, and really pay attention to what was going on. Be thankful for the opportunity to be there. Just an absolutely incredible, quiet, peaceful, calm place. It was perfect. So Paul's got lunch prepared for us. It's ready. I go up and enjoy, have a quick bite to eat, come down and see Morgan chilling out on the beach. He's got the shirt off and just soaking up the sun, and I'm sure enjoying and taking that peaceful moment in as well. We had to wait for Quentin to join us, so we were waiting for him to come with the other boat and take me to the bear bait, so Morgan could get to his with Paul, and so we had a little bit of time to soak up the sun.
thanks, boys.
Okay, you ready?
I was excited to get back out there, still apprehensive, but I was excited to get out there, see some bears, and maybe even get the bear that I was hoping for.
I'm excited to be back here, and hopefully tonight's the night.
I think that night 2 sows, a really nice brown sow came in, very, very skittish. A little while later, a big black sow comes in. At first, I thought it was a boar and decided that wasn't the one, but it was a big bear. And even if it was a shooter again, she was very skittish, did not give me a shot. You know, it's getting darker, it's getting closer to sunset. Start packing up. I know the guide's coming. I know Paul's gonna come pick us up, so it's time to pack up. I go to do one last check in the blind, and I come around the corner and I just see this big wall of black. I run into the blind and get my sights. I'm looking at it. It's a boar. It's a big boar. I almost felt like the ground was shaking. I had to really calm myself down to make that shot. Lined up my shot, ranged it out. It was, I believe, 18 yards, and made my shot. The crashing stopped right away, and probably within 45 seconds, you heard the death moan. I knew that the bear was close and had collapsed close by. Down to the beach, get stuff together, get the crossbow reloaded, get another bolt in there, and make that
make that call to the guides. Took the shot, put it center mass, and right where I knew its lungs would, where I could double lung it.
Oh, congrats.
Awesome.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Got a good shot, you feel like?
I think so, yeah.
You heard the death moan?
I heard the death moan very quickly after, so.
Good. Well, that's a great sound.
Oh boy, he's a beauty.
Well, it's a beautiful bear. Congratulations,
Thank
sir.
you, Quinn.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Paul.
Oh man, I am so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. Unreal.
Congrats, buddy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now the work begins.
Here we go. Get her done.
The 4 days came and went so fast, and such a surge of emotions and adrenaline highs and lows, and I was almost sad leaving there. I think that we developed such a bond, and that I really learned a lot. I really grew personally from it. I'll pass the things that I learned there on to my generations. I challenged my fears, faced them head on, and I'm going to grow and learn so much from it. And I can't wait for the next adventure.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell, built for the pursuit. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB Sausage Supply, your one-stop shop. Nordic Lodge, where friends become family. North Pro Sports, performance archery and arms. And these fine sponsors: